guys. So we continue our Coping with COVID series here on the Now Morning Show. And my next guest, L. Anthony Watkins, or Tony Watkins, is the CEO, Principal Consultant at Odyssey Consulting. And he joins us via Skype to discuss managing the impact of COVID-19 on business. So good morning, Tony. Good morning.
Good morning. How have you been?
I have been wonderful, because I see a lot of
noticed.
opportunity.
Yes.
But because they talk about opportunity out of crisis, but I don't know what you've been hearing from the number of businesses that you work with. What are you hearing on the ground?
Well, what we are hearing is the typical duality that comes with things like this. There is the fear, the concern, the uncertainty, but simultaneous with that are the issues of the calm that some people have, and of course the opportunities that people see to recalibrate and refocus on what their business is and how they can do things differently.
Yes.
At this point, though, sort of early in the process, the pain is palpable. But I think as we move along, things will ease significantly.
And in terms of businesses, we're seeing a shift, I think, which always happens when you have some significant change in the market, whether it's the crash or depression or COVID-19. We're seeing shifts probably to more online. Our businesses, the ones that you work with especially, are they ready to really jump forward and take advantage of that now? And if not, what are some of the nuggets for coping? Because if you're not ready, your business can actually die or close. Yeah, so what are you seeing?
Yes, well, I think at this stage, there is significant, just the reaction to the events of it.
Yeah.
I think people knew that COVID was coming, but of course, it was distant. Over the last couple of months, so it has, inexorably got closer and closer to us. And people are now faced with the realities of that. So there is this sense of, oh my God, what is this thing? And doing what I would consider to be some of the immediate crisis management approaches. Of course, what we would advocate is that while that has to be done, while we have to stop the bleeding, we also have to look at long-term health and wellness of the organization and of the people in it.
Yes.
So that is, I think initially at this stage, there's the crisis management piece of it, the immediacy, the urgency. But I think over time, as I said, some of the more medium to long-term approaches will kick in.
Yeah, and I know you work with a number of companies. Are you going to be reaching out in any way, offering nuggets for some of these businesses?
Of course, we've been doing that already. I mean, at Odyssey, we take a very proactive approach to things like this. And we have been in touch with a number of our clients and in fact have been doing online sessions with their staff, with their leaders, with management around issues of COVID, certainly at this stage, at the people end of it.
Yeah.
But what we're going to be doing tomorrow morning, that webinar that we're going to be having, really is going to take a broader perspective on not just the people side of it, but what are some of the systemic and broader issues that organizations need to tackle and to address.
And this is for the way forward.
And that will continue.
And this is systemic issues to be addressed as a way forward.
Yeah, of course. Of course. I mean, if we look at it, organizations will have their strategic plans. I mean, how do you revisit a strategic plan in the era of COVID-19? What were some of the assumptions that we made? What has changed since you did your plan? And what we really want to do, what we're going to be helping organizations to do, is to refocus and recalibrate their plans for situational relevance. 3 years and 5 years is fine, but there are some immediate things that we need to tackle, but need to do it in the context of a broader medium-term strategy.
Yeah, because I know that in a few recessions ago, it seems as though the time between recessions are getting shorter and shorter. But there were companies who actually planned for what their approach would be. Their strategic plan took into account what they would do in the event of a recession. In the event of perhaps a pandemic, have you found that companies said, okay, let's whip out the plan. We had something in place. Should this happen? Did we have that sort of preparation from your experience in any of the companies that you have been exposed to?
Yes, there has been some assessment of potential risk, and of course, given the volatility of the world order as it is now, and the geopolitical issues, the economic issues, there has been some consideration of that.
Right.
Not too many organizations do it, but when we guide an organization to operate in that kind of way, we know that they're doing really strategic stuff and in a sense, preempting and preparing for what may go off the rails.
All right. Well, Anthony Watkins, give us the information if we wanted to participate in the webinar tomorrow, the time, and how to get onto this webinar very quickly.
All right, sure. So the webinar really is going to present, to attendees the overall approach that we have. We're going to be looking at some strategic issues in terms of organizations, revisiting your strategy, issues of leadership, issues of resource mobilization and resource management. And at the same time, we're going to be looking at some very critical HR issues, because in a lot of ways, that's where some of the pain is in the organization, along with the financials, but at the human end of it. Yeah. And we will, very importantly, be addressing the legal and IR implications, because that is going to be an issue. While people may gloss over it now, those things are going to pop up as we head down the road. So those are the three broad areas we're going to be looking at. Yeah. And it's going to be introducing people to how we will approach it and inviting them to continue to work with us and for us to work with them as they grapple with and resolve some of the issues that face them.
All right. And they can find you on social media if they want to register for the webinar, correct?
Well, let me give a telephone number to which people can WhatsApp, and that would be 358 3529
3529
or 358
yes
3532.
Okay, wonderful. All right, I want to thank you very much.
And what we will do there is send out the actual link, so that once we have the numbers, we can send out the actual link and people can register. And really, in a sense, look at it from a broad perspective, not just a narrow place, but a broader systemic kind of approach to it. Yeah. And then we could drill into some detailed areas later on.
Okay, we're going to have to leave it there. I'll give the numbers again: 358-3529, 358-3532. And I'm definitely going to be checking in and sending my WhatsApp. I've been doing so many webinars on Zoom and all the various platforms that are available now because everyone wants to learn. Thank you so much, L. Anthony Watkins, Odyssey Consulting. We're going to take in a few messages. Come right back here on the Now Morning Show.